Alrighty folks, welcome back once again to ToL Q3 North American region. My name is Blue, joined today by Cyrif, and we're now headed into the qualifying rounds where we're going to see APeX take on Sharks with Lasers.
That's right, man. We're going to see the winners of the ToL1 North America take on a team that we just saw qualify versus, if I'm not mistaken, it was, wow,
Yes.
29 O's.
Yes, with 29 O's, exactly.
So let's just jump right into predictions, Blue. APeX, extremely strong, extremely capable, and also practicing a lot, trying to get a new composition, which they have sort of done. But what do you think they're gonna pull out versus Sharks with Lasers? Like, are we gonna see a 2-1 or a 1-2 or 2-0 even? I mean,
APeX is still always always a very team fight focused composition. They'll go pretty standard. We'll probably see again big focus on we'll be starting off on Temple, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. So we'll probably see them again do a pretty usual split. Start off focused on mid, one guy home, and then maybe try to cross over to far. Keep in mind that again they don't have a thief or anything. They have actually well let's just head in game and check that out first. They do actually have Knight over here playing on. They do actually have Knight playing on Mesmer, which means they're going to get the Portal play possibility coming into play here. But we don't really see Portal used too much on this map, so it's going to be interesting to say the least, considering that again we haven't really seen APEX's new comp utilized too much in tournaments just as of yet. So a lot of it's up in the air, but I think they'll do a fairly standard comp. We won't expect anything too crazy from them.
So earlier we were talking about how APeX wasn't going to run a Guardian, right?
No, that would have been outplayed by Children.
Outplayed?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was looking directly at Morpheus, who is running guard. We might as well start talking about some builds that we're going about. Morpheus running 00464. Dual shout with Sank.
Interesting comp again here, going for the 2 master traits instead of going for 2 grandmaster traits here. We don't really see that used too often, but it is a choice that he specifically likes to use. Some more interesting things that Morpheus ends up using is the healing breeze as well. So not going to be taking the shelter, which is a very good utility for avoiding damage as well as obviously getting the heal off there. But the output of the heal that comes from this is actually very, very strong as well. So it's going to be a very useful utility for team fighting and keeping his opponents up and rolling as well as himself.
Absolutely. Now, moving on, you see Knight running 44006 with the, I would say, standard shatter for sure.
Yep. Nothing too out of the ordinary here. Again, pretty much the same build we've seen in the past two games.
Yep. H-Man running standard Hambo at 00626. Day is going to be running Staff. I think he's running Runes of the Monk and Celestial.
Yep. The famous Staff Ellie, as it is here, we'll be running that. This is the like I said, this is the Staff Ellie build that we see used pretty often, to be completely honest. Runes of the Monk, however, are interesting. We still usually do see Strength runes employed with the Staff, but he's going to be running with those Monk runes, so that'll be very interesting to see how that kind of plays out for them.
Alright, and then finally we're going to see Anis Tarsus running Axe Sword, the longbow, Runes of the Holdback, Celestial, going to be running 20606. This is a build that we saw earlier, actually in the last game on if I'm not mistaken, it was Carry Squad, right?
Yes. This is again another fairly common warrior build. Very good 1v1 potentiality. Has that spike burst that can come into play in team fights there too through the kind of surprise eviscerate. With him running Celestial Amulet, does make him a very small amount squishier because he's not getting the extra defensive stats through usage of a Soldier's Amulet, but it will give him a little bit of extra pressure through abilities like Impale and the connies that he gets off there through a post day and stuff like that too. But again, once more, he will still have that very large spike damage that comes into play. Swapping over to Eviscerate swapping over to Axe very quickly and then going for the big damage always surprises players if they're not ready for it. And he'll also get a little bit of a boost to the Condi damage on Longbow there too. So just a little bit, he'll be trading out a little bit of defense and a little bit of the spike damage that comes into play for just a little bit of extra Condi pressure.
Absolutely. So we've already gone over the builds for the blue team. Let's have these guys ready up if they're ready and jump right into the game.
Alright, and once again, guys, as a reminder of the rotation, as we are now in the qualifying round here, winners of this will be moving on to the ToL finals, once again happening towards the end of August, so keep your eyes out for that coming later on. We've already got half of the teams from North America qualified. We're going to find out our next one right here in this set.
Alright. Checking out who is ready. It's just Tarsus. Tarsus stands alone. And then it's run by H-Man.
But once again, we are on Temple, so we have not actually seen that played yet today. Temple, again, very large map, actually. Very vertical map, too, which for our red team will make things very hard for them to get around the map because of the fact that they don't have any thieves or anything like that, lacking quite a bit of mobility. But you got to keep in mind here, too, that people like Day, I'm trying to see. Actually, no, Day won't have that again because he's full support staff, really, too. We have to remember that. He doesn't run the usual triple cantrips or anything like that, so he's not going to have access to blink or anything. So once again here, red team really going to be lacking a lot of that mobility. They're going to have it's going to take them quite a bit of time to kind of move around the map here, get between the points, but when they get there, they'll be a much stronger group together as a unit because of some of the build choices that APeX has made here. As for the blue team, they will get that large mobility advantage because they are running with a thief here over on Lazerlord. They have Ferox, who has a portal here as well to bring that out into play. He can blink around the map too, so they'll be moving around a lot quicker, but overall will have to fight much faster and much more efficiently if they want to try to take an advantage versus APeX. That's what it's always about with APeX, is cutting them off and not giving them anything whatsoever. You give them a little bit of pull and they'll take a whole lot more from you, so you got to be very careful when playing against this team.
Now that we see everything that sort of is potential for both of these teams, I don't know, personally I just like Shark Lasers mobility more than I like the staying power of APeX.
To note too, they actually screwed up their opening builds.
Oh man.
Hold on, no.
Is there lag? Yeah, everyone's lagging.
I don't believe we will actually. Okay, they had it too. I didn't see it on my end. I was okay.
I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Red team wins a capture point.
Standard lag.
I thought it was just blue team for a second there, and they screwed up their opener. I was about to say, no, we can't reset just because you misplaced your lightning field.
Did you see that?
Because that's what it looked like to me for a second there. But everyone is complaining about it, so we'll do a reset.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture
So we're gonna see. Shoutouts to our other admin, Princess Olrun.
Yeah, again, big props to Olrun. We usually have 2 more admins helping us out here, or we have for the past 2 weekends, but unfortunately one was unavailable this weekend and another one had a family emergency that has pulled him away, so Olrun and I have had to truck through this and run the entire tournament with just us 2, so again, huge props to him for kind of jumping in and making sure that everything ran smoothly this weekend, which it has surprisingly well. Gotten behind a few minutes sometimes, but it's been going fairly well.
How many of you guys would like to admin a tournament? Or would like to join us on the Misspedia team? You can actually do that. We are always looking for people to join us. You can actually email me, will@misspedia.net, or blue is john@misspedia.net. Let us know if you're interested in doing stuff with us. Adminning, or just hanging out, playing some games, because we're always up for that as well. Of course, if you are looking for some way to contribute to the community, there's also Misspedia.net's actual wiki that you can update if you're a total nerd baller.
Alright guys, but everybody has joined back in here now. So with that said, we should be getting started in just a moment. Gates will be opening up in 10 seconds. Now hopefully, without any lag, we'll be getting started with the real first game between APeX Prime and Sharks with Lasers. Best of 3 set. First team to 2 points moves on to ToL finals and gets first and second place prizing. So with the gates opening up, here we go.
Alright, let's check out these splits blue as we go towards the map. We're going to see a pretty interesting stuff. We're going to see Knight and everyone waiting. Knight and Tarsus. We're trying to figure out where they're going here. It's going to be H-Man and Ranta who decide to get their home point in the middle. We're going to see, oh no, crossing. It's going to be Tarsus going towards the altar.
Again, this is Tarsus' strong suit on this build here at the moment. With that build, he's going to have a very strong 1v1 potentiality. It does get weakened quite a bit with the extra player in, but he can survive for quite a bit just because he's a warrior here. Warrior's always very bulky, very hard to kill, so he's going to be here for quite some time halting this capture progress. Back in mid, let's check out what's going on here. We've got quite a few guys, and yeah, both teams just kind of using cooldowns at the moment. No big plays had just as of yet, and so far everybody's kind of circling through their cooldowns.
That's right. Now, actually, all of the cooldowns for Tarsus are down. And actually, we'll see what Rantev's up to.
Knight, however, you can see over here, Knight actually screwed up there a little bit, got blocked down a little bit by Lazerlord, and the Condis will take him down, and he's in a horrible position to be going into the downstate, too. He's going to get knocked out of play, and this is going to severely limit, again, the damage available in mid over here for APeX, and might give them an opening to take mid. Sharks with Lasers, that is.
Well, I mean, Sharks with Lasers are having a tough opening up. As they say that, of course, they do secure their home point, and it was Baconmon who actually got a decap off over on Temple. No red ticks going on. Morph in a lot of trouble against Lazerlord Blue. Check out what's going on. Morph versus Laser Lord.
Morph got his big heal off, though. Good timing on that, too. Laser Lord actually managed to steal stability about 10 seconds ago there, but with that on cooldown, that gave Morph the freedom needed to actually make sure he got off his full channel of the heal. So that rezzed about, I believe that about 70 to 80% of his overall health pool there, so very well done. Will allow him to stay alive for a little bit longer, but he can't do it anymore. As you can see here, he's got nothing left. Only's got that Empower, and a steal is available here from Laser Lord, so Morph goes down immediately, knocking back. And with that said, Lord should be taking control of mid, but at the same time, even with Morph going down, Day is also on the way, and Day on Staff Valley might be a little bit more trouble here for Lord because of the extra CC and AoE. So once again here, APeX might not have screwed themselves yet. To keep in mind too, they also have control of the altar here, so what seemed to be a very bad situation for APeX is actually turning out pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like they're able to really cement. They're looking to double the points now of Team Starts with Lasers right now. And let's jump over on Temple, as it looks like Team Shorts with Lasers able to push through on mid and get a little bit of stuff going on, but Baconmon has gone down, and now it's just moves going against Knight and H-Man, and he's going to take this 1v2 here. Knight actually peeling off, so it's just going to be a 1v1 as Knight is going to try and get towards the middle point here, as there are just more and more bodies, more and more particle effects joining the fray over in Gate.
And indeed, let's head over to the gate and check out what we have going on here at the moment. You can see Laser Lord trying his hardest to get out of here, actually. Screwed up a little bit, landed in a bit of AoE, which is going to bring him down fairly low. At the same time, you can notice, too, that in that fight that we had going on over there at the altar, that's actually going to end in favor of APeX. Unfortunately, Moves does not have this, in general, the survivability to last in a longer fight versus H-Man there, so he's going to be forced out. They are going to just do a swap here, but Lord immediately coming into play makes a mistake, gets locked down by H-Man in a hammer combo. With only 613 health, does have to quickly try and dodge out of the way. Only 613, but just gets his withdrawal off there, as I believe Day was coming into play too, so he'll just manage to save himself. But at the same time, because the rotation was somewhat obvious coming into play from Sharks, we are going to see the rest of them rotating back over here towards the temple as well.
Just like that.
Man, what a sick moment there, able to get that heal off and also get it off again as he shadow steps out of there. Now we're gonna see H-Man might be in a little bit of trouble, but Lord, I think he's he's gotta just dive toward.
Nobody from Sharks going for the buff too, so that's gonna be right now. 90% of this game, to be completely honest, is just APeX out-rotating Sharks. The lead doesn't seem to be too much here, but it is going to amount to that in a second because they now got a full cap on mid, as well as a pretty secure hold on their home node here too. And unfortunately, Sharks, even though they have won quite a few of the engagements, unfortunately they're not rotating after the fights very well, and because of that, APeX is taking a very large advantage of their positioning at the moment.
That's right. With an effective floor cap, this lead is just going to widen and widen. I'm still watching Laser Lord as he tries to really figure out where to go here. Pulls the short bow, warps up to that back point here, and he's going to be able to back cap the temple. And H-Man actually, on the other side, actually, it's probably Tarsus. Yeah, Tarsus getting caught off by Baconmon now. He's at kind of low health here, about 7k. And this Baconmon has got the health lead, but he's going to be able to take a 1v1 for quite a while over on altar.
Yeah, and Baconmon, like I said, Baconmon... Oh no! Hold on, Baconmon. I was going to say he should be alright as long as he doesn't eat an Eviscerate there, but just as we went to his point of view, managed to nom one of those up here, and he's going to try to turn things back around. Keep in mind, too, that Tarsus has actually been engaged here for some time, so his health pool's low as well, but it's going to come down very highly to how well Baconmon dodges these Evis here. If he manages to stay out of the way of those long enough, he can definitely get his health pool back up and hopefully take out Tarsus, but if he makes another slip up like that, he's going to be a dead man.
And it looks like he's going to have a lot of trouble here. Connie's coming off Burning, finally going to come out, but oh no, he's looking at him, only 2k health left. Tarsus is wailing away at him with the bow.
Eats those condies too. He needs to cleanse those and locks himself into an Evis. And as Tarsus, very well done, connects that. Baconmon going to get knocked out here in just a few seconds. And this will now turn into a red team node. We will see Moves coming over to try and save the day, but unfortunately I don't think Moves will be able to get there in time, and he will get knocked out. Very unfortunately misplaced Vital Warding there too. Just missed Anastasis and might have interrupted that had he placed that just a meter north. And another Eviscerate getting eaten here by Sharks. Anastasis is on a roll with these.
Yeah, dude, this guy is so good. Watching Tarsus, man, he's taking a 1v2. I wonder how long he's going to be able to take it. Now it's a 2v2.
The other thing to keep in mind here too is now they've got Day coming into play, and Day can actually heal up Tarsus by quite a bit, or at the very least stand on point so that Tarsus can go away and get some more heals off through HS. So he's going to be all right, and this is going to turn very quickly into a big 2v2. He does have the extra pressure coming on from Laser Lord, but he should be able to dissipate that in a second here.
Yeah, he's able to stay away from that whirl there, and he's still got only about 3k health now. Laser moves trying to drop him down. He will get dropped to the downstage. Will he stabilize through? Double stomp going down on Tarsus, and no,
just gets back up. Gets up through the res there once again, coming in from Day. Very well done. A lot of people don't catch on to that. It's probably the hardest res to spot, unfortunately, there. So Day gets him up once again through the Ellie Signet. He's going to be back up in play, and this team fight will continue. But once again, in about 5 seconds here, guys, we are going to have the buffs coming out into play, including the bottom buff. And then once again, for anyone who doesn't know what that does, you cap that thing, it flips all 3 of the points into your team's favor. Currently, once again, Sharks just not paying attention to those buffs at all. Top buff goes completely to APeX uncontestedly. Bottom buff will get interrupted, but just barely over here by Laser Lord. Knight will need some additional assistance, but we do actually have Morph coming down, and he will be helping out with that.
Yeah, no. Lord was going to do a great job against Knight if it was a solo there, but Morph is going to be able to... Oh, he gets the LOW there as well. And a Sank overkill, but he's going to be able to grab this no problem, unless Lord can really step
Lord's got
through
cluster bombs, so he can get through that. But once again,
man,
he's still got to watch out here. Making very good 1v2 here so far, as you can see. But oh no! Oh, that was brutal. Laser Lord gets locked down. Chains of Light followed immediately into a Chaos Field, and a big smash coming in from Morph. Knocks him into the down state, and now it looks like Knight will finish him off from down here.
And it looks like Blue is just kind of like really spread out. At this point, they have Lord down here, and Baconmon. They have Tarsus's killer, Laser Ransap, over on Altar. And in the middle, it's Day. It's actually Day versus Ferox. Assuming that Red gets this, actually Baconmon almost handled it through. Assuming that Red gets this, Blue team's gonna have a lot of a really tough time regaining points here. And I mean.
Now, here's the thing, however. Here's something just to keep in mind, is the fact that I think APeX has kind of done this in the past, too, is APeX does tend to over-focus on bottom buff a little bit too much, in my opinion. Again, keep in mind that a lot of them are really tanky, so with that said, they don't really need to put so many guys down there, but very often I've noticed they do tend to do that. They put 1 or 2 many guys downstairs here, and it allows their opponents to out-rotate them. We did have that going for a few seconds there when the larger fight was happening downstairs. It's starting to dissipate now, but if Sharks can kind of bait them into a big fight down here again, they can easily out-rotate them. Again, keep that in mind. We talked about this at the start of the game. They've got a Thief and Mesmer. The Thief alone should give them enough of a mobility advantage to where if they can trick APeX into going for a team fight, they can turn this into a 2-cap, wait for the 530 buff, get that, and then get a comeback through that avenue. It should be easy to do here, but the tricky thing is they're going to be actually forcing APeX to team fight down at the bottom buff.
It looks like Ferox and Moops might cap up middle here, as Red really is focused on grabbing this. But
again,
of course,
however, they don't really have any coverage on their home node, so H-Man will just come and take that away once again.
That's right. It seems to be both sides overcommitting to middle here, or the middle buff.
It's a very odd split. You can kind of see it on the minimap here at the moment. Everybody's kind of all over the place. We don't really have any concise push coming in from anyone. It's kind of focused itself a little bit towards the bottom buff here right now. But overall here, there's a lot of guys in a lot of places. I don't think anybody's really sure with where they want to push anything at the moment. But unfortunately for Sharks with Lasers, we are seeing APeX Prime take the better advantage at the moment, just due to the fact that they have done a lot better with their rotation so far in this game.
It looks like, man. This game 305 now to 200 in favor of APeX. APeX Prime doing a great job here on the first map. Line of warding directly in front of that will not save Morpheus and will not be able to keep him from being interrupted. But he will begin the channel now, moves and drops some damage on him before he gets it. So it's, again, just a vicious cycle. And it's going to work out in favor of APeX the longer that they're down here. Because they have that side points. They have Blue just really locked up in here. And the strategy that we suggested immediately for Sharks and Lasers to use is being used against them.
And now heading back over here to the top buff once again, you can see that the 530 buffs actually, and this is again just again kind of a statement to like how much everyone is for some reason focusing on bottom buff, as that top buff has been up and in play for almost a minute now, and no one has actually capped it yet or even tried to cap it here. You can see that finally somebody from Sharks has moved away from middle and attempted to go over here towards the altar, but there's been absolutely zero play had on the side nodes or just in general the top part of this map at all in the past over a minute now.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's beginning to dwindle down now. As oh man, the spider over Trank is just ridiculous. They keep going and going with no end in sight. All the while, we will see Rantab. Will Rantab actually try and Ferox and Rantab may try and take on H-Man. Oh no, with Stillness being taken for the red side here, this is it.
Yep. The blue team, once again, APeX Prime has, or apologies, Sharks with Lasers got their home point back, but unfortunately they've been at a disadvantage down here at the bot buff for some time. They once again ignored the top buff over here, which allowed APeX to take that easily, and because they already control their home node, they're once again up at a 4 cap, and this is just rocketing them ahead once more. Prior to this top buff at the 5:30 timer being channeled, there was definitely a chance for Sharks to come back if they out-rotated, but unfortunately they just did not do that at all here. And with that said, I think APeX should easily have game 1 in the bag.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no, there's no way to say otherwise, really. Versus now, like,
they focus way too. So, like I said, like I was talking to you earlier about how they could force them into a team fight down bot and then out-rotate them. They did that, but then they didn't do the out-rotation part. They forced them into a team fight because we saw that. Literally nobody played the top part of the map for almost a minute. It was just that, unfortunately, once APeX was committed to it, Sharks stayed committed to it too, and nobody ever tried to go. And now, again, I don't know, I don't fully understand the circumstances why. There definitely might have been some issues. I know Ferox was engaged over here towards middle quite a bit, but for some reason there was just no follow-up coming in there from Sharks with Lasers towards any of the side nodes, and because APeX already had control of both of those, they just rocketed ahead once more.
Yeah, it's kind of just sad to see that happen. Actually, Ferox is going to turn on What the Fast because he's getting a butt ton of lag. But the next map is what? Is it Kylo, or are
we are going to Forest, actually.
Okay, so knowing Forest and seeing what we saw out of APeX, do you think that we're going to see sort of an early middle cap and turtling on it, or what?
We definitely could. I think, to be completely honest, this map on Forest is fairly similar to Temple in the way that opening splits will generally work, so I think we'll probably see something similar where we may see APeX try to push over towards that, specifically H-Man will do that, the rest of them head over there towards mid, and we could see, I mean, pretty much the same thing we saw that game. It's not a completely unlikely scenario.
Alright, so guys, we're waiting on Ferox now to get a better connection via
Seems to happen a lot with that team. Maybe that happens a lot with them in the weeklies too, we've noticed.
I mean, sometimes, like, you can't afford good internet, or there just isn't good internet in your area. It's not necessarily everyone's fault all the time. If anyone, you should blame, Comcast, Time Warner Cable, and terrible ISPs.
Are we gonna?
No, I mean, net neutrality.
I thought we were gonna start an internet net neutrality PSA here in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play games with that, no, are we gonna do this?
No, I'm not gonna do this.
Nope. All right.
That's your line if you want to cross it. I'm not doing that on the stream.
Yeah. I mean, what needs to be said at this point? Let's do, as we wait for Ferox to get it back in. You want to do another giveaway? Do you have gems?
I
do you have another one?
believe I do. Yeah, it'll take a few minutes to do it, but
let's do it.
All right, guys. Once again, we'll do another giveaway. We just do it in Twitch chat, I guess, or.
Yeah, in Twitch chat, or you can tweet at us. Our Twitter handles are directly under our faces. Mine actually looks like to be directly under my mouth, as my camera is just incredibly close right now. You can tweet at me at MLGSarf or at Dr_Blue, and then also I guess we'll do it in Twitch chat. But why is the match?
Oron is there is some issues with the arena at the moment. He's resetting it.
Okay.
There is an issue with getting one of our players, and he's being redirected to another instance. So we have to reset the map really quickly in hopes that that fixes it. But once again, guys, I believe we're going to be doing another gem giveaway here in just a moment. So if you would like to win that, just go ahead and spam hashtag Llama Legacies in the chat, and I guess we'll enter you to win a gem code this time. The Llama giveaways, keep in mind that we do those between each set. So while we're on breaks, we'll be doing the Llama giveaways. This one will be for an 800 gem code.
Yep, and don't forget you can also follow Misspedia on Twitter at Misspedia, and you can go to facebook.com/Misspedia, where we are very active. And we like to engage you guys. Sorry, I just got a notification. We like to talk to you guys and hear what you think. We want to hear your feedback on what you think would be fun. I mean, when it comes down to it, it would be awesome to have a lot of people constantly doing weeklies, constantly engaging us, because I mean we're really here for you guys. From the beginning, we've been all about providing a platform for the community to grow on with the site, with these tournaments. So we just want to give back to you guys for what you've given us and our ability to just come out in front of you guys and cast. So yeah.
So once again here, guys, we should be loading back into the map in just a few minutes. We're actually going to go into the game here and talk about the map. Once again, keep in mind that we're still doing that giveaway. Just go ahead and spam those, and we'll pick the winner. And I think we'll pick the winner as the next game's beginning. So just give us a few minutes, and we'll get that settled for you. But again, we're now heading on to Forest, and Forest again is another very interesting map here. It's been, I think it was one of the first maps incorporated into the Guild Wars 2 game. And as such, we're going to talk about it a little bit here and how it's played. So again, the map is the same point layouts as we saw before on Temple of the Silent Storm. It's the triangular pattern, which again allows for easy circumnavigation between the points. Which what that's going to allow it to do. Think about on Legacy for anybody that was watching earlier. Legacy is a very hard map to get decaps on, just due to the fact that in order to get a convenient decap, you have to walk directly through a middle and walk up a stairs, which means more than likely your opponents are going to see you going for that, and more than likely your attempt at a decap will get countered. On this map, that's not the case, because you have a lot of side alleys, you have a lot of secondary avenues that are just as quick as heading through middle, that allow you to go over towards your opponent's point and try to get a decap there. So it leaves the decapping much more open for anyone. It allows smaller skirmishes to happen a lot more often on this map as well. Something else to keep in mind too is that because of the way the map is formulated, because of the multifaceted ways you can navigate it, it does allow teams to, it makes it a lot harder to get locked down on this map, in my opinion. It's very hard to get yourself into a position where you can do absolutely nothing. Now granted, it's not to say that that's not impossible, but compared to the last game where we saw this happening a lot, say at the start of that last game there, we saw after APeX managed to take control of the blue team Hono, we saw Sharks kind of getting baited into a large fight over there. Granted, they won it again, but because they were kind of trapped over there towards their home node, they were really unable to rotate towards other nodes quickly enough to counter APeX, and they took an advantage there. On this map, that doesn't really happen. You always have avenues of escape. You always have sneaky places to go where you can try to get an advantage on your opponent, and it does allow for some for a lot of chaotic gameplay to happen, I feel, on this map. So we'll be seeing a lot of that happening here, hopefully. Just talking in general about the teams, I do think that Sharks needs to utilize those factors a little bit more, though. We weren't really seeing much of that in the last game. They focused very heavily on large team fights, and while they were winning them, unfortunately, their opponents were like running circles around them through the entire game, even though they were winning a lot of the fights, and then through the mid game they started losing them too. But because of the fact that they were unable to really rotate it, their opponents just took miles over them.
Right. And you know, when you give APeX like an inch, they'll take a mile, but if you give them like miles, man.
And that's the thing, like we said earlier, if you give them a mile, they'll take like 10 miles.
So they'll go to the moon, man. But I mean, the thing about last game that I saw, and that I really like from Sharks with Lazers, is that they rotated correctly, but not in time. Like, they just it
was delayed. That was the issue with it. And delayed rotations are horrible, because if you delay at a point where your opponent knows you're coming, then the rotation is, generally speaking, failed. You want to rotate into your opponents to kind of surprise them and force them into a panic state. If you're doing that as they know you're coming, then they're going to be able to easily just put their guys on the point there too. I think that there needs to be greater utilization of players like Laserlord and Ferox that kind of come into a fight and cause a shock factor with the burst that they can bring into play. And if we don't see that happen, then again, APeX, because of the amount of team support they can have, can easily just get their guys in there. All right, we've got the support, so we're good here now. And then that'll once again just put blue team back into a disadvantaged position.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, going forward with APeX and Sharks with Lasers, the only way that we're going to see, well, this game get underway, is if people get in.
Yeah, we're still having issues with the instancing, unfortunately. So give us just a few more moments here, guys. We apologize again for the delay.
So while we're waiting for that, actually, Blue, let's decide on our winners of gems.
All right, taking a quick look here. We're gonna do the roll. Congrats to, and he's not following. Sad.
Oh no!
So sad.
Man, you should be putting the work and everything. I don't know who you are, because we're probably not gonna say his name.
Alright, congratulations to King_Smirgle, KING_SMIRGEL. King Smirgle, you've won an 800 gem code, sir. We're going to send you a private message as we go to the next break. Don't worry, we'll make sure we get that to you, but stick around and we'll contact you a little bit later on today.
Alright, so as I open up this water bottle to drink it, I think that everyone's in.
Alright, are they? That's the big question. Are they in, or is someone going to randomly disconnect on us now?
Well, we'll have
cross our fingers. That awkward silence.
I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just like us waiting to figure out if these players are in.
I think everyone's in now. There shouldn't really be anything holding us back. So Let's get it going, guys.
Let's get it on. Oh, wow. There's a lot of spam going on there, so would really appreciate the mods to wake up and deal with it. It'd be great. Let's go ahead and time out, you guys. Sorry, guys, that spam's kind of lame. No one wants to read a paragraph about a guy with a terrible crippling disease.
Alright, here we go, guys. We're finally ready to go. So once again, with Rentev readied up, it is going to be APeX Prime versus Sharks with Lasers, game 2 out of a possible 3 here in the qualifying round of ToL2 Qualifier 3 North American bracket, of course. But once again, as we are in the forest of Niflhel, let's see who's going to take it.
Absolutely. The game starts right now. We're going to check out these splits. It looks like we're going to see some beach play from Rentev, but it looks like Day and who is this? Tarsus. Going to be doing some crossing action. Tarsus running forward, going to be seen by Ferrex. Oh, gets immediately bassied by Lord there. Shadow steps are totally real. Ferrex and Lord just trying to get some damage done. Oh, did you see that wave going down? Oh, what a great pull there, man.
Excellently done. That'll hold Tarsus back here. Not sure if he's actually going to want to commit to this. Going to want to commit to this fight, however, due to the fact that he's lost the cap. Now, that's the main reason he pushes over there, is actually to try and stop a cap from happening. But looks like he'll still stick over here. Keep in mind, again, he's very much so focused on the far push, so he'll be going into this fight, but unfortunately at a very large disadvantage. Meanwhile, back in mid, we've got a fairly typical fight started off here, and there's also been some pressure applied by the blue team over to the red team's home node, which is somewhat of a change-up from the previous rounds. Rantav, once again, running pretty much the same exact build as Tarsus, is going to go up against H-Man, but unfortunately his fight is not going so well, and it looks like we may actually see H-Man take the advantage over here.
That's right, man. Now H-Man able to push off Rantev. Rantev, like, not quite as successful as he would like to be on the dismount there. Looks like wow.
Did you see that?
We're gonna see him push back into the back of mid there. Ferox actually crosses over and gets decapped by Tarsus right here. Tarsus trying to get some action down, and he's been doing a great job, able to keep 2 people off point enough to get the decap.
And once again here, that's just because, again, the fear, I think, that is being caused by this build here at the moment. Ferox specifically with him being solo, but oh no! Eats the Eviscerate there. Like I was saying, the fear that the Eviscerate causes does cause them to be a lot more passive. It's also a lot of the on-point pressure that you're seeing coming in now from Combustive Shot that they have to be very careful of. But once again here, in a 2v1, unfortunately, there is not much that Tarsus is going to be able to do, especially at that lower health pool. So blue team, in just a second, will take control.
No, but blue, look at the health pool. So many people being stomped out in mid. Morph is going to grab that cap, and then Knight, I think, used a portal. Whose portal is that over in the middle there? Because that would
have been Knight's, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, Red is just really taking a dominant mid fight. They've secured their own fight, and now they've got people on the hench side, and they're just routing the blue team. As I say this, Lord and Moobs pushing over towards the mine. We're seeing Tarsus has seen this. He wants to be kind of sneakier as he goes out of this base here. He's going to cross far. He's going to just help his teammates put some pressure here as well.
And now back over here at the mine, you've got Laserlord versus H-Man. Laserlord will have to be very careful with dodges here. Keep in mind, the SD is going to be a huge pain in the butt for H-Man. H-Man only gets 1 or 2 very small openings to successfully knock back onto Laserlord. He just connected one there, too. Screwed that, so managed to get that onto Laserlord, but at the same time, with Moves being in play, Moves is able to provide a lot of support there. So Laserlord is going to be all right for the time being here. But H-Man, again, will still be under quite a bit of pressure if he's not careful and if he allows Laserlord to continue to harass him. It's going to be very heavily on Knight to actually get the lockdowns onto him, too.
Yeah, oh man, H-Man's gonna go down right there. There's the Lotus, but it looks like Knight's gonna try and get a stealth res off there, and it's gonna be enough to get him up. Knight, though, is in a lot of trouble, as is Lord, as they're about, they're both taking tons upon tons of damage. H-Man, though, gets bastied mid-step there. This fight is gonna continue. Knight is, wow, able to stay on the fringes here. A really good ability to stay out of the range of everyone else, but he's going to jump right into the SR of Lord. Lord disengages and steals off to get there, and I think he kind of wasted that the stolen warrior item there.
Well, I mean, he uses it to get away. It puts a lot of pressure. It puts a lot of pressure on your opponents to kind of get away from it. And as well, if he wanted the actual steal ability, he was obviously going to have to use that. So.
Looks like we're going to see. Okay, the decap does go through. 104 to 105 to 101
Moves is getting tossed into a wall here. He should probably go down over the next few seconds. I don't think he's really got much left to keep himself alive. So yeah, he's going to go down, unfortunately, now too.
Oh, there's tons of AoE went down there, but in the end,
Now,
it was the Dragonfish that got him.
Blue team needs to get out of here now because they don't really have anything left here. They need to get out of here and they need to push over towards mid. They don't do that again. APeX just going to rotate their guys back towards mid and they'll have a secure hold on that within the next 30 seconds. Unfortunately, due to the fact that they lost both Rantab and Laserlord due to the over-rotation and over-commitment, I believe, to this mine point, they're going to be completely unable to do that. And now APeX will take a solid 2-cap and hold that for at least, in my opinion, another minute and a half.
We'll have to see here. We are also seeing Tarsus pushing again towards that henge point, doing what Tarsus does best. He's engaging both Baconmon and I think who else is over here? Actually, most of Blue Team is over here. As we're seeing, Ferox having to deal with night and day. What a combination as they come in on the henge point. Moves gets on the point here, trying to do what Guardians do best, sticking there and being a support. But Baconmon is going to have to disengage from the point here. Laser Moves trying to get him power up, will not be able to do so. Now it looks like we're going to see him really push through, uses his heal. He's got both of his shouts on cooldown for his ability, and Renewed Focus is about to come off cooldown as well. There's a portal there. Going to be able to pop right back on the mid for some action against Ferox.
And this is actually Sharks, to be completely honest. Sharks is doing so much better in this game here with their rotations. They're being much more intelligent with it. It was a bit of a rocky start, don't get me wrong there. They were definitely having some trouble in the beginning, but now we're definitely seeing it come into play a lot better. We saw APeX get extremely over-aggressive over here towards the henge, and because of that, they took immediate advantage of that and managed to come in here and have now, well, they got the decap over here on mid, but unfortunately, again, Moves is going to be unable to rotate here quickly enough too. And oh, now, I mean, it was going good, but it's now going to turn itself back around here again against APeX due to the fact that they had a bit of a sloppy rotation with this whole situation between henge and mid.
Look at what's going on in mine. They've got Lord and Rantab over there on Morph. Morph's just kind of like stuck there. So clearly these spread out fights are going in the favor of APeX right now.
Oh yeah.
With the exception of mine because Morph is alone.
I mean, a lot of this has to do with the rotation. A lot of this has to do with APeX just having the better players suited for the better scenarios in each fight there. A lot of it has to do with, to be completely honest, a lot of the APeX players just being better than the Sharks or the Lasers players. They're better at the 1v1s and they're better off. And as such, they're taking those advantages there. And unfortunately, Sharks is not doing much to counteract that. We've seen this quite a few times now with Tarsus doing a really nice job over here at the Blue Team's home node, doing 1v1s over there. There's the opponents on Sharks are not doing a very good job of staying out of the way of the eviscerates and stuff like that. And with them just eating those huge cooldowns like that, it's unfortunately going to lead to a very quick snowball in favor of APeX if he keeps allowing them to 1v1 over there.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like they can't see the animations or what it is that when they're eating those evises because they're pretty.
We don't talk about this too much, but I mean, if you're just whiffing your dodges on completely useless skills and that too, like right here you allowed, like right there, I don't think you had in the Baconmon versus Tarsus fight, I don't think Baconmon actually had a dodge ready to go there to get out of the way of that, so we had no choice but to eat that. Now, fortunately, Baconmon has a lot of ways to get his health pull back, but he can't keep doing that over and over and over again. He's going to have to eventually dodge that because that's so much damage to just eat up in one single iteration.
And it's crazy that Tarsus has stayed alive with this little health.
Yeah, you can see Tarsus is playing Ring Around the Rosie with Baconmon at the moment. Now, unfortunately, this obviously isn't giving him any progress on the decap, but it's still keeping Baconmon out of another fight. And considering that this is Tarsus's job anyway, to go for Farpoint, he's probably not too discouraged considering that.
Yeah, it looks like we've been so focused on this 1v1 that we haven't been looking at the rest of the game. But it's 288 now to 200 points. The middle point has been finally captured up for APeX. APeX had lost their points during that 1v1. Laser moves and now Ramtev are on the mine there. Morph uses his Sank and LOW to keep away the blue team here. And he's rejoined by H-Man. It looks like Lord is actually all the way back up on mid. We'll get the decap off on it.
He's going to score that, but he does have to go up against Knight for that, and that fight is again going to be another fight very reliant on player skill. The first guy to screw up here, keep in mind, Lord I think has a little bit more of an opportunity to win this fight just due to the active dodging that he has a lot more, that he has up a lot more often. But once more here, if he's not using those properly, like we're seeing right now, Knight is just going to be able to lock him down with some big spike shatters there, like we're seeing at the moment.
I'm watching Lord right now. He's the SR went through. How's he going to engage? It gets the Bassi off, but it's not going to be enough to be able to really.
That's another unfortunate thing because of the build choice here from Laserlord at the moment too. Is because he's running that 20066 build. He doesn't have as much spike as you would expect from a normal Thief build. If he was running like DP or something with 2606, he would have been able to burst him down in 1 or 2 hits. But it's a much longer process with that build. And if you're not utilizing your dodges on sword and just your dodges in general properly, then unfortunately your opponent with the better damage is still going to beat you at the end of the day.
Well, an unfortunate demise for Laser Lord and Ferox over here in mid. Stomps will go through, leaving Laser Moves the only one on this point for his team. Baconmon has just been pulled into the fray, however. And with this, we will see Tarsus able to cap up Henge. And if APeX actually takes this 3v2, 4v2 even on the middle, they could get a quick recap and
they're also we've also got even H-Man camping over there towards home. He's going to get control of the Spawnier boss, so he'll go down. They'll get another 25 points, and APeX is really on the warpath to victory at this point. Unfortunately, again, Sharks was not keeping too good of an eye on their home node there, and for I believe the second or third time now, they have allowed Tarsus to come in here and get a decap. And unfortunately, because they knocked out quite a few of their guys in mid here too, this is going to allow Day to come back, or Day or Chubbs rather, to come back over here towards the Henge as well and support Tarsus in his 1v1.
With a score of 404 to 222, it looks like the comeback is incredibly not real. It is, in fact, impossible. With 5 minutes left on the clock, I would say the last 90 points of this game are going to go to APeX via kills and via caps, however you see it, but they are going to achieve them. Knight will go down on the middle there, and that's Morpheus immediately jumping down and Split Healer pushing everyone back. And that's just going to be enough pressure to reset the fight pretty much on middle there, as Moves is kind of left alone.
Yeah, as we take a look, where is Moves actually at?
No, he's right next to his teammate now.
He's trying to get the stomp off here on the Knight right now, but again, oh no, Knight wastes his stealth there somehow. He actually poured it away, but for some reason it came off. Not sure if he had it, I'm not sure. I don't even know how he got out of that, to be completely honest. But somehow screwed up his deception channel, and because of that, Moves will connect that stomp, and this will give actually Sharks a bit of an advantage here on mid. They still got, actually no, now Day's got back here in here too, so unfortunately Baconmon's not going to be able to take that. Yeah, and they'll just turtle this fight. Back over at the Henge as well, you can see that you've still got Tarsus. Ferox is on the defensive at the moment. I think he ate another Eviscerate there, so with that said, Tarsus is going to get some freedom for the time being. He's also doing a very nice job of handling Rantev here in general. If they lose this decap, again, Sharks will get a little bit of a push here, but at the same time, there's only 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game, and APeX is on the warpath to slowly winning middle too, so...
I'm interested, like, let's say everything goes wrong for APeX right now. They lose.
They have to make a lot of mistakes.
let's say they just all stop. They hands off the keyboard. I am interested in seeing if Sharks Lasers even makes that comeback, right? So assuming no one's playing, they have to take the Chieftain. They have to get the 3 cap, but there's only 3 minutes left on the clock. And well, I mean, right now. We're gonna see H-Man.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, Chief.
Henge as well, yeah. And with Henge as well, that's being wrapped up. They managed to get Day over there onto Tarsus, and H-Man rotated there too. And H-Man will just 1v1 this boss, take that one down. And I mean, just in general, with Day in play, that rhymes. With Day in play over here at the Henge and supporting the teammates, that's pretty much all they need to do. You can even see that Tarsus is just like kind of just sitting there taking a nap at this point. So they've got this. Congrats to APeX. Unfortunately, Sharks just not having the toughness to get through it. And as such, we will be seeing APeX once again qualifying for the ToL2 Grand Finals happening at the end of August.
You know, that match was actually incredible. I love that. GG's coming out as well right now. But we will see frickin' Sharks with frickin' lasers on their frickin' heads in the 3rd place match after the next one.
Indeed. And our next one, once again, guys, is going to end up being Outplayed by Children versus Carry Squad, which... we'll have to see how that one will go, because again, we haven't seen Carry Squad play before, and Outplayed is a pretty prominent team, to be honest, so it's going to be a tough match. Personally, off of my opinion, it's going to be a tough match for Carry Squad, but we'll obviously have to wait and see how that one goes in about 5 minutes. Sorry for now, we'll be taking another short commercial break, and when we return, we'll be bringing you that matchup, guys. We'll be back in just a few with the continuation of ToL2 Qualifier 3 North America.